ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 1 वल्ली 2 मंत्र 24। नाविरतो दुश्चरितात् नाशान्तो नासमाहितः नाशान्तमानसो वापि प्रज्ञानेनैनमाप्नुयात्। We will look into the bhashya. Na kincha, we have seen the bhashya, not duscharitat. So kinchanyat, there is a sambandha. Kinchanyat, kincha anyat, anyat sadhanam, some more sadhanam for atmajnana is being told in this mantra. Na duscharitat प्रतिषिद्धात् श्रुतिस्मृति अविहितात् पापकर्मणः अविरतः अनुपरतः। दुश्चरितात् अनुपरतः। दुश्चरितम means pratishidha karma, pratishidhacharanam, evil conduct, bad conduct. Pratishidhat karmanah, pratishidha karma is called duscharitam. And what is pratishidha? Shrutismati avihitat, not enjoined by Shruti and Smriti, instead proscribed by Shruti and Smriti. Prohibited by Shruti and Smriti. There are many such karmas. There are many nishedha vakyas in the Shruti and Smriti. there are many vidhi vakyas. Similarly, there are many nishedha vakyas. The vidhi vakyas enjoin certain karmas in the Shruti. For example, aharaha sandhyam upasita. Do sandhya vandanam every day. Aharaha. It is a vidhi. Therefore, sandhya vandanam is a vihita karma. A karma that is enjoined by the Shastra. Likewise, Shraddhaya Deyam. One should give with the Shraddha. It is another Vihita karma. Giving Dhanam is a Vihita karma. Likewise, Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. One should do Swadhyaya and Pravachana. Swadhyaya Pravachana. Swadhyaya means chanting one's own Veda. The Vedic chanting that one has learnt. And even the non-Vedic chanting can be included, like Gita. All of you are doing Gita. You can also do Kathopanishad, 15 minutes. So, Swadhyaya. And Pravachanam, teaching the Veda or teaching the Shastra. Na pramaditavyam, one should not give it up. So likewise, there are many vihita karmas given in the Shastra. Similarly, there are many pratishiddha karma or nishiddha karma. There are many nishedha vakyas. Like ma himsyat sarva bhutani. Don't do himsa to anyone. Ma himsyat. Then one might ask, if one should not do himsa, then there should not be any soldiers in the border. We should dismantle our army. It is not the idea. Ma himsyat sarva bhutani is a general rule. But then, on certain occasions, there may be a need for himsa, for a greater good of the society. Like the instance of Mahabharata war. That is why Krishna says, Yudhyasva. So there are exceptions. But the general rule is ahimsa. Yesterday a Purva Paksha came. That is why I have to say this. But that does not mean you can fight with everyone in the class, in the ashram, at home. Himsa is a last recourse. Operation. When is operation done? When no other form of treatment works, then we have to go for operation. That too, initially they try with the lesser invasive procedures. laparoscopic surgery, then laser surgery, laser in the eyes. So if that does not work, then there has to be a open surgery. And even in that, the ultimate solution may be, amputation. You amputate a given part of the body. What for? To save the patient. Just like that, one doesn't go for amputation. I have some pain in my hand. Let me amputate my hand. Nobody thinks that way. So likewise, in this universe, when we talk about one Atma, Ekameva Advitiyam, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, so the same Atma is present in everyone. Therefore, a Jnani or someone who wants to become a Jnani, he looks at everyone as the Atma, as himself. And then he does not really want to do himsa to anyone. Himsa is the last and final recourse. Until then, you try to improve, make things better through non-resistant ways, non-offensive ways. You can try to speak to the other person and pray, let this person behave in a better way. May Bhagavan give him buddhi. One can do so many other things. There are other ways of improving the situation than just going and fighting. Therefore, ahimsa. Himsa is, in general, himsa is prohibited by the Shastra. Then, suram na pibet, do not drink alcohol. Then nowadays people say light social drinking is okay, because everywhere alcohol is entering now. Even in the most sattvika household, all alcohol is entering. But the Shastra says, there is a social pressure, peer pressure. If you don't drink, you are antisocial. Don't be antisocial. Have some drink. That is what you get to hear nowadays. But the Shastra is clear. Suram na pibet. Do not drink alcohol. So there are many such nishiddha karmas. Some are directly mentioned in the Shastra, whereas some are implied in the Dharma Shastra, both Shruti and Smriti. If you look into Smritis like Manusmriti, there are many Vidhivakyas and many Nishedhavakyas. So, Shruti Smriti Avihitat Karmadaha is equal to Papa Karmanaha, the Papa Karmas. Avirataha is equal to Anuparataha, one who has not restrained from such actions. He is called Duscharitat Avirataha. Enam na apnuyat. Enam prajnanena na apnuyat. He will not get the Atma through jnana. That is the Anvaya. Napi Indriyalaulyat Ashantaha Anuparataha. So, Ashantaha. Ashantaha is equal to Indriyalaulyat Anuparataha. One who has not restrained from the impulsiveness of the senses. Indriya Laulya. Laulya means the impulsiveness, impulsive behavior, indisciplined behavior of the senses is Indriya Laulya. The Indriya works first without deliberation. The Indriya acts. Then after a while, after one day, the following day, the person might repent. Why I did this? It is Indriya Laulya. Indriya Laulyat Anuparataha is Ashantaha. Ashantaha enam na apnuyat. That means to attain the Atma, one should be Shantaha. One should be free from the impulsive behavior of the senses, which means mastery over one's senses. Indriya Nigraha. All the activities are done with the deliberation, not impulsively. Then na api asamahitaha anekagramanaha vikshiptachittaha napi asamahitaha. Also api na asamahitaha. Asamahitaha means anekagramanaha. One whose manas, mind, is not ekagra, not focused. Ekaha agraha. Ekam agram yasya tad ekagram. So it has only one agra, only one end. It is ekagra. It doesn't flow in various directions. Anekagra means it has many directions. It can be understood as na ekagram anekagram, or anekani agrani yasya tat anekagram. It has many agras, many ends, here, there, in all directions. That is anekagra. Means vikshipta chittaha, one whose mind is vikshipta, distracted, dispersed. Such people can hardly focus on Shavana and things like that. Even meditation is difficult. Shavana is difficult. So, you do Shavana for a long time, they will not be able to do. So, mind will go here and there. What the other people are doing, what is happening in the office, which minister is coming. Can I get a glimpse of the minister? Can I have a selfie with the minister? Anekagramana. Likewise, what the other people are doing here. So, the mind goes here and there. That is why study becomes difficult. So, to stay and study in one place, one should have a focused mind. Ekagramana. And to make the mind ekagra, again, one should say no to other things. If so many other things are there, other activities, other thinkings, then the mind does not become ekagra easily. I will watch a TV, I will discuss things with others, I will go here and there to the other ashrams and all. Then manas does not become ekagra. So, to make the mind ekagra, one should stay away from many distracting activities and distracting thoughts. Samahita chittaha api san samadhana phalarthitvat napi ashantamanasaha व्यापृत चित्तः समाहित चित्तः अपि. So, Bhashyakara is explaining the significance of the following word, Nashantamanaso vapi. So, if he has samadhanam, if he has focus, definitely his mind will be shanta. Because without having a quiet mind, focusing is not possible. That is why in the process of meditation, before we start the actual meditation, we quieten the mind. That is why the initial steps are important. So, first of all, relax the body, then relax the prana, harmonize the prana, then quieten the mind. Make the mind available for meditation. Only a quiet mind is available for meditation, available for concentration. Therefore, without quietude of mind, concentration is not possible. If the mind has so many agendas, I have to do this, I have to do that, then concentration is not possible. Therefore, if someone has concentration, it means he already has a quietened mind. Therefore, after saying asamahitaha, why ashanta manasa has to be told? Then Bhashyakara gives the significance. Samahita chittaha api. We have read this. Even though one is samahita chittaha, one has a focus of mind. San samadhana phalarthitvat. He may have samadhana phalarthitva. He may have the desire for the result of concentration. It may be drishtaphala or adrishtaphala. Adrishtaphala in the form of getting Brahmaloka, Swarga ityadi, Animadi Ashtasiddhi, etc. And drishtaphala, like name and fame. Sri Vidya Upasanam. Many people do Sri Vidya Upasanam with the desire for getting wealth and popularity. The Upasana brings all those things. Many people I have seen, they are Upasakas. Because of the Upasanam, they got very good property, wealth, name and fame. So many people get attracted to them. All those things happen. So it is samadhana phala. So people might do upasanam for the sake of getting such a phala. So, if one has such desires, ambitions, then he cannot come for Atmajnana. Atmajnana will not work in such cases. Samadhana phalarthitvat Ashanta. One can be Ashanta Manasaha. His mind is not totally quiet. Though it is quiet up to certain extent, to the extent of accomplishing focus, still it is not quiet enough to pursue Atmajnana. It is distracted from the Atmajnana. Vyaprata chittaha. Ashanta manasaha means vyaprata chittaha. His mind is engaged in other thing. Means his main motive is something else. That is why he is not able to focus on Atmajnana. Prajnanena Brahma Vijnanena Enam Prakritam Atmanam Apnuyat Prajnanena is equal to Brahma Vijnanena. By means of Brahma Vijnanam, that is how one attains the Atma. The Shruti makes it explicit. Jnana is the means for Prapti. There is no Prapti other than through Jnana. Enam means Prakritam, one who is under discussion. Atmanam apnuyat. So, these are all negations. The Shruti has said, who cannot get. It means that these sadhanas are mandatory requirements to attain Atmajnana. So, Bhashyakara gives the purport of this mantra. Yastu duscharitat virataha indriyalaulyācha samahitachittaha samadhana फलात् अपि उपशान्तमानसः च आचार्यवान् प्रज्ञानेन यथोक्तम् आत्मानं प्राप्नोति इत्यर्थः. So, yastu, tu is, on the other hand, unlike the previous person who is described in this mantra, who does not have these qualities. Yaha duscharitat virataha, one who has restrained from duscharitam, he does not do any adharma. He follows dharma in his life. He has value for dharma. Duscharitat virataha. Even if he is tempted to follow adharma at times, he does not do it, because he says, it is my dharma. I will not get tempted. There are occasions when he gets tempted to tell lies. Most of the time, we are all truthful. We all speak truth most of the time, when there is no problem in telling truth. But when an occasion arises where if we tell a lie, we are going to gain something, or if we tell a truth, we are going to get into a problem. It is a challenging situation or a tempting situation. That is where one's dharmikatva gets tested. One's adherence to dharma, commitment to dharma gets tested. Are you sticking to truth even at the moments of temptation? The person in discussion, duscharitat virataha, he restrains himself from telling a lie. I am tempted to tell a lie, but let me not do it. Let me speak the truth. He is duscharitat virataha. Indriyalaulyaacha samahita chittaha. And his mind is samahita. Indriyalaulyaacha virataha. Virataha should be connected here also. It is called Madhyadipanyaya. Madhyadipanyaya means one word should be connected with both preceding and following. It is like a lamp. If a lamp is kept on the threshold, it will light inside as well as outside. It will illumine. Likewise, a word which is between two sometimes should be connected with both. Duscharitat virataha and indriyalaulyaacha virataha. And he is virataha. He is restrained from indriyalaulya, from the impulsive behavior of the senses. Even when he gets angry, he does not behave impulsively. One may get angry once in a while. You cannot do anything for getting angry. If I say you should not get angry, it won't work. Because getting angry is not in your hands. You don't have freedom. If I ask you to clap, you can clap. I ask you to clap. Clap. Yeah. Now, I ask you to get angry. Get angry. Get angry. No, there is no anger. See? In 24 hours, all anger is gone. So, it is not possible to get angry with choice. Therefore, we cannot say you should not get angry. It comes. When the temperature goes up or down, or the BP goes up or down, we don't know what happens. Or maybe both. The anger comes. But then, how I should behave when I am angry? It is in my hands. When I get angry, should I keep quiet, or whether I should just shout? I have a say over it. I have a say over how I should act when I have anger. That is where my free will, my choice can be used, can be exercised. Therefore, he is indriyalaulyad virataha. He has restrained himself from the impulsive behavior of the senses. He might get angry once in a while, but he does not go and fight. He will just consider what is proper at this situation. Am I just getting angry without any reason, or is there any valid problem? He will think a few times. Sometimes he is just getting angry without any real valid reason for getting angry. It is quite possible. It may be just one's own subjectivity. I think this person is complaining about me, spying about me, but he is not so. It is possible. The person who I hate because of my subjective ideas, I have superimposed something on him and I hate him. He is a spy. He has bad character because of some hearsay, some rumors I believe, and I hate the person. But in reality, he may be my well-wisher. And when he tries to help me and he is approaching me, I shout at him, "Don't come near me." Even this can happen. And it is our subjectivity which deceives us. And I shouted at him. When he came to help me, I shouted at him, "Why you are coming? You are trying to harm me." So we become insecure and shout at the person. Then this person also gets offended, and next time, even when I need some help, he will not come to me. So most often, our anger is because of subjectivity. Sometimes there may be a valid reason. Even when there is a valid reason, I should act with the deliberation, because shouting at the person may not pay. It may not help, even if he is an idiot. Shouting at the person is not going to help. I should think how I can improve the situation. And act with the deliberation. Considering various factors. So this is all involved in Indriyalaulyat uparataha. Indriyalaulyacha virataha. Samahita chittaha. And he is samahita chittaha. He has a focused mind, spiritually focused mind. And it is cultivated with the help of upasanam. So even the chanting, japa, all these can help in cultivating focus, the spiritual focus. Because when you do chanting in the temple, Rudra, attend the puja, even there you are focusing on a spiritual theme. Even bhajan can help up to certain extent. Singing can help up to certain extent. Singing devotional songs. And upasanam, the ultimate sadhana to cultivate focus is upasanam. Meditation on Ishvara with the form. And when we choose a form that we can easily relate to, that interests us, because that will enhance the focus. So, samahita chittaha, he has cultivated focus with effort. Samadhana phaladapi upashanta manasaha, and his mind is free from the desire for samadhana phala also. His mind is free from the desire for any material benefit that can be derived from samadhanam, like animadi ashtasiddhi, or name and fame, charisma, etc. Cha acharyavan, Bhashyakara adds, just because of samadhanam, concentration, one cannot get directly. Concentration and all these things are needed. But finally, acharyavan, he should go to an acharya, a guru, and he should have proper attitude to the guru also. In Taittiriya Upanishad, the guru, there is an upadesha. Yeke chasmacheyagumso brahmanaha tesham tvayasanena prashvasitavyam. So, any learned man, acharya, or anybody equivalent to acharya, the Shishya is told, in front of them, Tesham asani, in their presence, you should not even breathe loudly. Even a loud breathing should not be done in front of the Acharya. It means one should behave with great respect, great reverence. One cannot speak loudly. One should be polite. The Guru is present and the Shishya is arguing with someone, shouting at someone, and suggesting the Guru also, you should do this, you should do that. Even that is not a proper behavior. The Guru will decide what is right for him and what is right for the students. Let him decide. It is not us who have to tell the Guru, you should do this, you should do that. Who is the Shishya to command the Guru? One should be very polite and humble in front of the Guru. तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यम्. One should not even breathe loudly. Even a loud breathing is not allowed. So that is how one should behave in front of one's guru and the elders. So, Acharyavan Prajnanena, by means of Prajnanam, Brahmajnana, Enam Yathoktam Atmanam, the Atma that is described in this Upanishad, Prapnoti, attains, ityarthaha. Next mantra. Yasya brahma cha kshatrancha ubhe bhavata odanaha mrityur yasyopasechanam ka ittha veda yatra saha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.